Hey guys, Dr. Ben here. Welcome. So glad to have you on board. This is the Functional Medicine Center, and I am going to tell you some amazing information that just, when I was reading this, it was just mind-boggling that this stuff is still happening in today. In 2020, we're seeing these issues with medications, with drugs, with toxicity, all these different things. So welcome. If you have not liked or followed our page already, go ahead and do that. Hit that button down below. Go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. Love to see. We get people from all over the United States, all over the world. Let us know where you are watching from, and I can give a shout out to anybody jumping on there as well. Also share this with anybody that you know that may be taking these medications or taking a lot of medications. It's not just these that are having problems, any generics, but also any type of medications. I'm going to be going over today what genetic drugs or generic drugs are causing cancer and why is that actually happening and where's this coming from. So let's put a little background on this. Medications, drugs, pharmaceutical drugs used to be all made in the United States, and the FDA was able to oversee that, all these different things. What's happened over the last 5, 10, 15 years is just like almost everything, we've tried to outsource it, tried to make it cheaper. Hey Melissa, good to see you. Doris, good to see you as well. So we've tried to make this cheaper. We've tried to drop the price. Hey Tonda, up in South Dakota. We've tried to drop the price of these medications, and so we outsource it. And we go, okay, well, hey, we can make shoes cheaper in China. Can we make drugs cheaper in China? So right now, 80% of the raw materials, of the raw ingredients for the medications we use in this country actually come from China and India. Think about that, 80%. And here's the scary part is the FDA only tests 1% of what comes into this country for purity, for everything in there. It's not like, hey, every batch coming in gets tested. We're relying on the drug companies, but especially for these generic drug companies, they're trying to make profits as high as possible, but keep the price as low as possible. So what happens? Well, they may not test everything. They may not be looking as detailed. So the supplement companies that we use, I know that they test every batch coming in. So if you get this big bag of St. John's wort or whatever it is, they're going to test it for purity to make sure it's really what it is, to make sure there's no PCBs, dioxins, anything else going on in there. So we know that happens, and then when the bottle leaves, when those pills are tested, when it leaves, it has to have as much, if not more, than what it came in with and what it's going to be at expiration. So what the label says of any of the products that we use, we know that in a year, 2 years, or 3 years, whatever expiration is, it will have that amount in there. So what happens with these generic drugs, and we're talking some of the different ones, these are blood pressure, high blood pressure medications, Valstarin, Losartan, Irbesartan, IRB, Irbesartan, Zantac and Acid, AXID, are heartburn medications, and then metformin. How many of you out there have been on metformin? Give me a thumbs up, or know somebody that's been on metformin. That's the diabetes drug. And what happens is this NDMA, it's a nitro, so dimethylamine, it's a mouthful, but it's NDMA, has been found in pretty high doses in all of these medications, and it's coming from some specific factories in China. And again, 80% of all of our ingredients for medications that we're using now are coming from China and India. There's some thumbs up there, people that know people that are taking metformin. And so NDMA, it's actually been used. There's reports of somebody in Germany that put it in food and killed someone. In Nebraska, there was somebody that killed 2 people by putting this NDMA into food. They've used it up in Canada. So it's used as like this poison that people will kill people with, which is pretty crazy. But they've actually found that in the medications, in the lower dosage that they're finding, it's not enough to kill people, but in the lower dosage, and this is all based off of a Bloomberg report, and if you Google this, or I'll put the link down below, Bloomberg found that what was happening was that they were giving such a small dose, it wasn't killing people, but it was causing cancer. And 1 in 3,390 people that were taking these medications would get cancer from that NDMA. So pretty amazing. And so again, 80% of all medication the ingredients are coming from China and India. And the FDA, we go, oh, FDA is protecting us. Well, FDA is sitting at 1% of all the imported drugs they're actually testing, and they're actually looking for problems or any issues with that. And so very few things are going to be caught. And this is just one of the random things that they did catch. I'm sure there's a lot of other things coming. So these are generic drugs. The blood pressure medications, heartburn, metformin for diabetes, have all been shown to have this NDMA, which is this carcinogen that's going to cause cancer in high doses. People have used it to kill people. And that's one of the main ones that they found. And again, this is based off of a report in Bloomberg. So ultimately, this comes back to, guess what? You are the only one that's responsible for your health. We can't rely on the FDA. We can't rely on the government. We can't rely on our governor of our state that we live in, or even our friends and family to take care of us. We are responsible for our own health. You have to take that responsibility, take that action today. And if anything, that's what this COVID whole fiasco has showed us, is that there is no magic drug, there is no mask, there is no social distancing, there is no vaccine, there is nothing that is going to keep you from getting sick or is going to drive up that immune system, unless you take that self-responsibility, take that personal responsibility and get yourself healthy. We know that 94% of the people that have died with COVID in the United States have died with an average of 2.6 other health conditions going on: diabetes, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, cancer, heart attack, sepsis, all types of different things, but an average of 2.6, not just, oh, they had one other thing. So remember, a lot of people say, hey, if they would not have gotten that virus, they would have lived longer. And I also say, hey, if they would have got that virus and not had all these other pre-existing conditions, they would have lived longer as well. So we're going to get exposed to germs. We're going to get exposed to viruses, bacteria, all these different things. We cannot rely on the drug companies. They do not have our best interest at heart. We cannot rely on our politicians. Obviously last night, if any of you watched the debate, we cannot rely on them to do anything for us. Jamie, absolutely, our general health is the real pandemic. We've talked about this many times. So self-responsibility, take care of yourself, take care of your family, do the things that you need to do day in and day out, follow the functional medicine principles that we talk about every day on this Facebook page. Like or share with anybody that you know, especially that share button, because people need to know. People need to know that it's not just, hey, I'm going to pop this pill and it's going to fix me. So take care, stay strong, and we'll talk to you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.